Would I Lie to You at Christmas? A very special edition filled with festive fibs. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a comedian whose previous jobs include playing the organ at a crematorium. He's the man who puts the fun into funeral. It's Bill Bailey. And an award-winning comedian, actress and the writer and star of Gavin and Stacey. Or, as I prefer to call it, Gavin and Stacey and Bryn. It's Ruth Jones! And on Lee Mack's team tonight, a comedy legend who's won a BAFTA, several comedy awards, written 5 books and written and starred in a hit sitcom. But to me, she'll always be the judge from Splash. It's Splash Judge Jo Brand! And the fastest dame in the world. Not much of a claim when the competition consists of Maggie Smith, Judi Dench and Christopher Biggins. It's Olympic gold medalist Dame Kelly Holmes. And so we begin, as always, with round 1, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've got no idea what they'll be faced with. And it's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Jo, you're first up tonight.
Last year, I ate my Christmas dinner in the bath.
David's team.
But why?
Because we had quite a lot of family round and I just wanted to be on my own because I was in a really bad mood.
No, was it on a plate?
That's a horrible image, isn't it?
It was on a plate.
Hold on. So I'm just going to picture the scene, right? You've got your Christmas dinner on the plate and you just get up from the table and you say, I'm just going off to the bath for a bit. And the family...
I don't think I announced it.
Oh, you didn't?
I was just so fed up with everyone. I just got up, took my dinner, went upstairs and thought, I'm going to have a bath.
But didn't you find it that you got really hot eating in the bath?
I could eat my Christmas dinner in a fire.
Where did you put the dinner when you were running the bath?
On the toilet.
On the toilet.
Did you allow the bath...
with a lid on and a nice little tablecloth. No.
Even so, I think it's a bit...
Do you?
It's just the associations, isn't it, of the two ends of the process.
It's like saying to the food, this is where you're going to end up, mate. We both know it. You know it, I know it.
You're going on an incredible journey.
Yeah.
Did you continue to eat your Christmas dinner while the bath was running, or did you pause in that process to sort of save it until you were nice and comfy in the bath?
I had a couple of sprouts, David.
Right.
Did you have, like, a tray that goes over the side of the bath?
Yeah.
You can put the dinner on, or did you have to balance it on your knees?
I had to balance it.
On your knees?
Not necessarily.
If you're balancing it on a part of you, is there not a risk that it will become submerged at some point, which would ruin the dinner? Essentially, you're turning your Christmas dinner into the Maldives in about 30 years' time, when, you know, the bath water of the world starts to wash the sprouts towards the plug hole.
Well, I don't put enough water in the bath for that. In fact, you know, I don't hardly need to put any water in the bath.
OK, what do you think, David? What do your team think?
I think maybe you had a bath, but you didn't eat your Christmas dinner there.
Yeah, I can believe that Jo has had baths and has eaten Christmas dinners. I don't believe she's ever combined the two processes.
I think she might have done.
Oh, you think she might have done?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought we were heading towards consensus
No.
there, but in a very Christmassy way, we're very much at loggerheads.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I think, seeing as I feel a little bit 50-50...
Yeah.
Oh, no, that doesn't help at all, does it?
Well, no, it does. Because if you're 100% it's true and you're only 50% it's...
Who said I was 100%? I'm about 80.
All right. I'm going to need a pen. This is why I keep saying I need a spreadsheet. OK, we're going to say true.
So they're saying true. Jo, eating your Christmas dinner in the bath, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Joe didn't eat her Christmas dinner in the bath. Bill, it's your turn.
Oh, right. OK. It says on my card, possession.
Ah, just to the side there, there's a...
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Just bring that up there.
Pop that up there, and then
Okay.
read the statement before you do anything else.
OK. This is Jakob.
I don't remember those yoghurt drinks making that noise.
OK.
Must be live yoghurt.
This is Jakob. I once smuggled her into the cinema, then had to pretend the noises she was making were coming from me.
OK, now perhaps you could unveil, take the
Yes.
sheet off. Oh, I love cats. Right, Lee's team.
Why on earth would you take Jakob
Jakob.
into...
Hang on.
Jakob.
Jakob, yeah.
Jakob.
It's spelled...
Into a cinema.
Jacob, but pronounced Jakob.
OK.
I was on tour,
Yeah.
and the bird was on tour with me in the hotel room, and we wanted to go to the cinema. So my wife
Hang on,
and I...
whoa, stop you there. Why was the bird on tour with you?
Yeah, good
Well,
question.
because we didn't have anyone to look after her.
She's on tour. That's a bird with a man's name, then, is it?
Oh, sorry, is it a she or a he, the bird?
It's a she.
But why is he called Jacob?
Jakob.
I know, but
Jakob.
Jacob.
Well, no, there was a little bit of confusion with the sexing.
Yeah.
at
I had
first.
that with a rabbit once.
Did you?
What, sex?
See, well, in the cinema,
Sit.
we
Sit.
put... In the cinema,
fail.
we put a coat over the case,
Right.
and we were watching a film, and then in the middle of the film there was some music, and she got quite into the music, so she started whistling to the music.
What was the
Like this.
film?
Entrapment.
That's a bit insensitive to a bird in a cage.
We didn't think of that at the time.
Is that the normal cage that he or she lives in at home?
No,
or does she live
this
in a
is
big
a
one?
travel cage.
Ah.
It's called a Winnebago.
So the bird starts singing along with the music of the film,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And then what happens?
And then she started to make noises, and then people started to look round, and they looked round and they heard this noise, and then I actually just went, and made a kind of, and then she said, Jakob, like that, and then I had to say that to my wife, Jakob, like that, and just sort of pass it off like we were having a little conversation.
Was anyone sitting next to you, other than your wife?
There was a lot of people in the cinema,
What
yes.
did they do? What did they say?
They
like,
just
think?
thought we were a bit weird.
So how long have you had Yakov? Is it Yakov?
Must be about 10, 15 years now.
And do you have a lot of these animals? in
We
your
do,
house?
yes.
How many animals do you
We've
have?
got about, I don't know, 30 or 40 animals.
40
30
animals?
or 40
Yes.
animals?
Yeah.
Really?
What, like?
Fish.
I don't mean in your
39
freezer. I mean...
ants. We've got loads of ants. We've got dogs, cat,
You got a
birds.
cat?
We've got a cat.
With the bird, isn't that a problem?
No, the cat doesn't stay in the house.
What's he doing, going around the cinemas?
It goes around. Yeah, the cat's got a paper round.
So what are you thinking, Lee? What does your team think?
I mean, the obvious big clue to this is that he seems very close... She seems very close to Bill. See? I've seen Bill do TV shows where he's working with wildlife, so I know he likes the wildlife.
There you go.
So it might be that he's lying, but he knows how to handle that bird.
That's what I think.
Would you be so bold as to give him a kiss on the lips?
I could do.
I want talking to you.
Come here then, get a kiss. Come here, kiss. You're right. You're a bit shy. She's a bit shy.
I don't want to stir it up, but she was all over David in the green room. So, Joe.
I think it's like, I
Lie.
don't think he'd
I'm
be
gonna go
that
lie.
irresponsible.
I'm going to go lie.
OK, my team say lie. It's gotta
You're
be a
all
lie.
saying it's a lie. OK, Bill.
OK.
Was that the truth or was it a lie?
It was true.
Yes, it's true. Bill did smuggle his parrot into the cinema. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Mick. So, Kelly, what is Mick to you?
Well, this is Mick, and I have a photo of him in my car to stop me getting road rage.
Right. Joe, how do you know Mick?
This is Mick, and when we were bell ringing together in church, he was responsible for me being hoisted 20 foot up in the air.
And Lee, what's your relationship with Mick?
This is Mick. His surname is Partridge, and I once had to rescue him when he was stuck up a pear tree.
So, there we have it. David, where do you want to start?
OK.
Can you do me a favour? Can you start with these two, because I might need a while.
Kelly, why have you got a photo of Mick to avoid road rage? How does that help?
Mick's known me for a long, long time. So he used to have to calm me down quite a lot on the track, and then he used to come and watch some of the races, because obviously when you're a young kid, you get your family members and friends and things to come. And so, because Mick used to always make me smile when I was stressed, he gave me this one photo.
And what is he doing in the photo?
Smiling.
Is he wearing anything, or...?
Well, luckily, it's just a headshot.
Do you ever get road rage, Ruth? Is that something that affects you?
I do get annoyed, but I don't show any anger or rage. I tend to just smile or blow a kiss or wave at them in an annoying fashion.
In an ironic man.
Yeah,
David, I would imagine you're an absolute brute at the wheel.
I am not legally allowed to drive a car.
Oh.
Does that mean you drive a car illegally?
No, I haven't... what's the expression?
Passed your test?
Yeah, that's it.
Passed
yeah,
the
yeah.
test. Oh,
But have you ever had lessons?
Oh, yeah. Ineffective in terms of engendering in my brain the knowledge of how to drive.
How many lessons did you
Certainly
have?
Up to 45,000.
OK. Who would you like to quiz next?
So, Joe, bell ringing.
Yeah.
Are you a keen bell ringer?
Not anymore.
Were you a keen bell ringer?
I was never really that keen on it, if I'm honest.
Have you ever been bell ringing?
I have been bell ringing.
Where was it and why did you
It was
give
in
it a
a
go?
church, David.
Yeah.
What was the church called?
I can't remember, actually. Saint somethings.
no, that narrows it down.
Can you remember where it was?
Yeah, it was in a village in Kent.
OK, that's plausible. If she'd said North Korea, we could have questioned it. What was the scene? Well, picture the scene for us.
Well, what happened was I had been to church a few times. I didn't like it.
So when was this? What age were you?
About 12.
Right.
And so I could either have gone in the church choir or been a bell ringer.
And what happened? What did Mick do that led to
Well,
this?
it was a sort of prank that used to be played on new ringers. And what happened was that Mick said to me, "Can you hold this a minute?" And I just put my hand out without looking, held onto the rope and just went like that, right,
You went
20 foot up in the
20
air.
feet up in the air.
Yes, I did.
How
Rob.
old was Mick then?
A couple of years older than me.
So you were about 12, he was sort of 14.
Oh, so he was a young lad doing it. I was imagining him at the age he is now.
It's before the service. You're doing the pre-service bell ringing.
Yeah.
Why aren't you on your own bell rope? What are you doing there that you're able to respond to his call, you know, grab hold of this? Which is a dangerous thing to respond to without looking in all sorts of circumstances.
Not quite as dangerous as your impression of bell ringing, which looks more like cow milking. You're going like this.
Sorry, I'm no sort of mime. But what is it more like that? Is that more like it?
I think it's
Happy Christmas!
You have to get it from one position to another position, and while you're doing that, that's when it's dangerous.
And
So
how do you do that? Is that using the rope, sort of, you yank it along with the rope?
you have
or-
to pull the rope in a particular way.
Well,
you
it'd be a nice
demonstrate?
chance for you to demonstrate how you pull it.
Well, when you're actually ringing a bell properly, you start by putting your hand up and getting the end of the bell rope, which is about that far above your head. You pull that down and you catch the fluffy bit, and then you pull that down with both hands. Then you let go one hand and let it go right up, so it's like that. So that's ringing a bell. In order to get the bell in the right position, you pull it like this. And as you pull it... That's why he married me.
Now, what about Lee and his claim?
Yeah, no, that's not true.
OK, what was he doing up the pear tree, Lee?
He was rescuing a cat. No further questions.
Where was the pear tree?
Next to the cat. The pear tree was in the grounds of a pub.
OK, and this was like in the beer garden.
We were having drinks outside in the beer garden.
Yeah.
We had a bit too many. We went back inside. It got dark, got late, and then we were staying in a local hotel. Everyone was going out to get the taxis home, and that's when I heard a scream. Help! What a pear tree! And, I thought, what? I remember saying, hark.
Did you know Mick? Was he one of your friends who'd gone to the pub?
Mick, it turns out, I never met him before in my life. Mick, it turns out, was the landlord of the pub.
Right.
Right.
And which answers the question why we weren't getting served, but we'll forget that for a minute.
How big a tree was it, Lee, and how high was Mick?
The pear tree was quite high, I would say. Using Mick as a measurement of 1, I would say it was about 5 Micks.
How did you actually rescue him?
So I shouted up, "What are you doing up there, mate?" And he said, well, this is what I heard at the time. Hey, came up to her. I said, "You'd have to shout, mate. You're 5 Micks up."
He's right at the top. It's a 5 Mick tree, and he's right at the top.
Yeah, but
I was thinking he'd be about 3.5 Micks.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, though, it was sort of lying on the branch, so his head was only 4 Micks and a bit high.
Right.
And he said, well, go and get help. So I said, well, have you got any ladders? He said, yes. And I said, right, well, good luck. And off I went.
But how had he got up there? How did he manage to get up there in the first place?
How did he manage? Well, he clambered up. So the cat was, it turns out, was at the top of the tree, right at the top. I'm talking 5.5 Micks because there was a thin branch at the top. So he's basically... A pear tree is full of...
Pears.
That's the word.
For a very brief period of the year.
Yes.
Yes,
Is he up there at...
Well, would you believe that this cat was partial to a pear? So it wouldn't have happened any other time of year. He says he's always like this, he's country bloke. Always like this, he is.
But he wouldn't go for a near pear, not
Or one of the
pears
many
on
that drop on the floor.
Not one that had fallen.
David, it was the last pear. We'd eaten the others.
So it wasn't full of pears, there was only one pear
It was full
at
of
the top,
no.
like an angel.
He was full of pears when he started climbing. He'd been up there for 2.5 seasons. So off I went and got the ladder, clambered up the first bit of the ladder, and I just sort of helped Mick down onto the ladder, and we became lovers. So no questions.
All right, well, we need an answer. So, David's team, is Mick Kelly's calming companion, Joe's bell-ringing buddy, or Lee's partridge in a pear tree?
I think it's Joe that's telling the truth. Do you know why? Because of a rope action.
You think it's Joe?
Yeah, and I don't know what it would take to calm you down, Dame Kelly. I don't think Mick is the answer, though.
Oh.
He looks calm now. You want to see him on the top of a pear tree gripping a cat. Absolutely invincible.
What are you thinking, David?
I think it's Joe, that's what I think.
You think
Yeah.
the bell ringing? Ruth thinks
Possibly.
bell ringing. Bill?
Yeah, I'll go with bell
The
ringing.
bell for Bill.
Yeah.
OK. Right. They all think it's Joe. Mick, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Mick, and I was responsible for Joe being hoisted 20 feet off of the ground.
Yes, Mick is Joe's bell-ringing buddy. Thank you very much, Mick. Thank you. Which brings us to our final round, quick-fire lies, and we start with... It's David.
Possession.
There'll be a little box under your desk.
Thank you.
There's a card inside, David. Read the card out first, and then
This
when
is
you've done that...
just a little something me and Rob got you for Christmas.
And then, once you've read it out, then pop the object on the desk.
OK. These are two of the best gifts I was given last Christmas.
OK, and take them out and pop them on the desk. There we are. Right. Lee.
Well, first question is what... I can see what one of them is, but what's the other one?
It's a hat.
No. What's the stick thing?
Yeah.
It's a wand. You know,
OK.
You do magic with it.
Don't wave it around, anything could happen.
Who bought you it?
Yes.
My wife.
Oh.
That bit is true, in case you
Yeah.
wonder. He has got a wife, yeah. Most people don't believe it at this point, but it is. He has got a wife.
Just to give us a fuller picture, let's see if the hat fits. And if it does, wear it.
Hold on, and then get the full, let's get the full effect.
Ah, but does the wand fit?
And then hold the wand.
So...
Well, then...
Cool.
You look like a proper Dickensian gentleman.
OK.
Yeah.
When you opened the present, did you say, this is lovely, but what is it for?
It's no. She said it was a wand thing where you can. It's got a battery in it.
Oh, it's a cordless one.
And you can make it. You can make it be a remote control.
Am I allowed to touch David's wand?
You can inspect it if you want to, but don't damage it. I'll get... Do you want to get it?
As it's
You don't
Christmas.
trust me to get it without damaging it?
I'm just happier when you sat down, that's
OK.
all.
Get me the wand, please.
Were you born in a little northern town called Double Entendre?
Actually, Cockermouth.
I don't know.
First thing is, I can't see any way you can get batteries in this thing. And it's got a light on the end, so obviously it does do something electronic. But I don't know where you would put a battery. You don't put a battery in the end of there, do you? Can you get a battery in the end of there?
No.
Oh, hello. Look, the end comes off, so we can definitely... It's an electronic item, definitely. That is a definite. And that's definitely a hat. I'm not an idiot. Rob, I broke it.
Have you really?
Well, something's come off the end. David, I'll get you another one, I promise.
You actually have lost
The end's fallen off the...
There
it is, there it is.
Give me the hat.
Oh, I've sat on the hat!
Give me the hat.
Well,
Would you wear that in the house, the hat, David? Would you wear it around the house?
No, I wouldn't wear a hat indoors. Basically, you'd wear a hat like this when you've, you know, on the way from the cab to the scene of the murder.
So what do you think, Lee? What is your team thinking on this?
Well, I'm interested that Rob warns off manhandling and hurting it. Would David be that bothered?
I have got history on this show.
History of breaking
he
things.
owned a pen in one episode, when it was his pen.
And you broke it?
Damn right.
There was another episode where he was supposedly a beloved teddy bear that I didn't own.
Yeah, but
he didn't know, and he tore its head off.
So, now, David, I would like to know, was there any explanation from your wife at all? Because obviously you've picked this up, you haven't known what this is.
An explanation?
Yes,
is
to
that
why
when
she...
you're given a present, do you often... do you ask for an explanation?
Let me finish. Let me finish, David. Was there any explanation at all as to why she married you?
No, she's never explained that, but I don't want to ask too many questions. I want to a good thing.
My husband bought me a dress that was 2 sizes too small once because he wanted me to lose weight so I could wear it. He did. And then when he gave it to me, he said, "Look forward to seeing you in it." So for his birthday, I bought him a coffin.
So what are you going to say then, Lee's team? Is he telling the truth?
Kelly, you're saying...
Lie.
You're saying lie?
Oh, I'll say lie as well,
OK, I have to go in my team and say it's a lie.
So the team is saying lie. David, truth or lie?
It is true.
Next. It's Lee.
Last Christmas Eve, my wife asked me to pop out and get 4 to 5 lemons and 8 or 9 limes. Unfortunately, I misheard her and came back with 45 lemons and 89 limes.
David.
In better news, we haven't suffered from scurvy for a long time.
You went out and you came back with 45 lemons and 89 limes. What did you think they were for?
I don't ever question my wife when it comes to cooking. You just don't... With my wife, she cooks some amazingly overly citrus dishes. Always.
What's she doing? Using up what you've bought.
But you say it was Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Were you going to be entertaining guests?
Well, you know, family members, yes, so I wouldn't say guests, but they had to come round.
What were the lemons and limes for?
Well, it turns out they were for the drinks. I did wonder why I didn't need to get any pastry.
I haven't met your wife. I'm sure that she's very lovely and sensible. Why say 4 to 5? Why not just say, go and get me 5 lemons, go and get me 9 limes?
That is exactly what I said when she said, what are you come back with 45 lemons for and 89 limes? Because you're right. You tell me, you know. Yeah. Why does she strike me about the head when I wake up? Who knows the mysteries of a relationship?
Where did you get these citrus fruits from, Lee? Was it a corner shop, a hypermarket?
It was actually, it was a hypermarket on the corner, so it's both.
So you get back home, and there's Mrs. Mack.
Yes.
And what... I mean, when you put your wares on the table, how does she react?
She said, what are they? I said, what do you think they are? Green ones are limes, yellow ones are lemons. She said, how many have you got? I said, I've got 45 lemons and 89 limes. She said, sorry, are you saying 4 to 5 lemons and 8 to 9 limes? I said, no, I'm saying 45 lemons and 89 limes. And she said, she went, you're an idiot. I said, what? She went, what am I supposed to do with all them? I said, you tell me. You asked me to buy you 45 lemons and 89 limes. She said, no, I did not. I said, 4 to 5 lemons and 89 limes. I said, sorry, can I just check? What are you saying? She said, I'm saying 4 to 5 lemons and 8 to 9 limes.
So this is when it all became clear?
Yes, she said they're for drinks. I said, I know, but your family are alcoholics. And I thought there was just loads and loads of drinks going to be happening. She went, no, I was going to make something tarty.
I think you'd have laughed about it rather than had a row.
Well, these things always happen in our house. I remember saying to my wife I only wanted 4 to 5 kids. And now we run an orphanage.
So, what are you thinking, David?
What do you think?
I just don't believe that she would say, go and get 8 to 9 limes.
Sorry, can I just check? He's saying 89 limes or 8 to 9?
I can see it happening. I asked my husband once, can you get me 89 Mars bars? And he only got me 8.
What are you thinking, David?
Well, we're saying lie.
You can say lie. OK, Lee, was it truth or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
A lie?
Yes, a lie. Lee didn't buy 45 lemons and 89 limes. Oh, and that noise signals time is up. And I can reveal that David's team have won by 4 points to 1. But, of course, it's not just a team game. My individual liar of the week this week is Joe Brand. Yes, Joe Brand. First a BAFTA, now this. That's a downwards trajectory. Good night.